We see the return of Jorge Martin this week in MotoGP after 3 rounds out, and he missed all of testing due to a testing crash that happened at Sepang 13 laps in, and then also crashing on his training machine on Supermoto before the week of the Thailand Grand Prix, the season opener. He makes a return after, a few months away, and this really is to talk about what we expect from Martin this weekend and what his expectations should be. He makes his return to defending his World Championship. The championship might be gone already, but it's good to have the number one back on the grid. He's passed his medical check by the MotoGP medics, and that has given him the all clear. Heading into this weekend, though, he is not sure he can finish the weekend, but I think with adrenaline, the feeling of being back in MotoGP, I think Jorge will get through the weekend. It might be tough, both physically and mentally, but I do think that he will complete the weekend because, he is essentially having a test, and that's the way to look at the next few Grand Prix for Jorge. He's going to need to do essentially a Sepang test and a Buriram test again to get up to full speed. Now, it isn't uncommon. We've seen riders miss testing and then come back for the first round, even back to last year. Frankie Morbidelli, he had a crash at Portimao in a training day, and he literally came back. His first lap on that bike since the winter test before was FP1 in Qatar, the first round. Martin is a bit different. He, of course, has had testing, albeit 13 laps, and he had 2 crashes in those, but he just wants to get the feeling back, and I think the confidence is the key here. Can Jorge kind of mentally block out the 2 crashes that he had? I do think so, because when you look at the magnitude of that crash that he had originally in testing, the second one, I mean, when you see it in slow motion and the velocity that he hits the ground with and the way the injuries happened, that would take a lot. And knowing that it was a rear tyre issue, we don't want to get into that. Michelin and Aprilia have said much about that in the public eye. But yeah, I think Martin coming to a circuit where he knows that he's strong. He's won the last 2 sprints. He isn't going to be expected to be anywhere near the top 10, I think, this weekend. But who knows? He can't surprise. He has been through this before. If you remember, he has been injured really badly, and that was in 2021, his rookie year at Portimao. He missed so many rounds, and he came back, and a few rounds after that, he won his first Grand Prix. He's a special talent. He's very special in terms of his mindset, and that's what carried him to the 2024 world title. His ability to think around things, how to get a positive spin on something. He has got this amazing talent for mentally adapting to situations and forgetting about it. 2023, he kind of was at the opposite end of that. And in the winter time of 23 and the 24, he made sure that he worked on that. And that's what ultimately won him the world title last year. His consistency, his ability to think, this is enough. I've done enough. He can put a setback behind him so easily. This is a different challenge. This is a new team, a new environment, new pressures, you could say, with number 1 on the front, but I don't think that will faze him. He's also got the prospect of going into a team that isn't the fastest compared to where he used to be on a Ducati. And that for me is a big hurdle in his mindset, especially coming back from an injury. Maybe you won't see it for the next few races, but I do think once he gets back to full fitness, he will want to be where he was last year. It's a rider's mindset. They always want to be at the front. But Jorge, I think, heading into this weekend, will get through it. Practice, it's difficult to say because Aprilia will obviously be saying to him, listen, go out and just do what you do like it's test and treat it like a test session. Test this out. This is what your teammate Marco Bezzecchi has been using. This is what Ayagura has been using. This is what Ralph Fernandez has been using since you've been absent. And I think the plan is for him to kind of do that. Of course, he's getting used to a new team environment where, of course, he's got his old crew chief from Pramac, Daniele Romagnoli, with him. But I don't think the team are fully knitted together yet. Of course they won't be. They haven't had a pre-season really together. Of course they can share messages, they can text, they can have dinners, but to be in a working environment together, it takes time to build up. I mean, it could be like Marc Marquez at the Gresini team when he left, or when he went to, of course, the factory team this year. He has a different style. He's been able to knit that group together very quickly. Martin might be able to do that, but I do think having an absence of the preseason will factor in, and it'll take time for Martin. I think he's got plenty of just patience. That's the word, I think. He needs to have patience this weekend. The last thing he wants to do is throw it down the road. But I do think there is something that Martin has that can get him through. And I touched on it there, is the previous experience of knowing that you've came back from something that's been tough. He talked about the hand and the slow healing process of it. And we'll hear from him in the press conference whenever this video is out. You've already seen the press conference and watched this video. But there's no doubt that he will talk about how difficult the hand healing process has been. He feels like it's been a lifetime since, it first happened to where he is now. But I do think that he has experience to get him through it. And realistically, the expectation for him this weekend, go out and just understand the Aprilia. Go out and understand your team. Go out and see where you are physically. If it is too much, pull in. Go again next time at Jerez, a circuit that he, of course, knows very well. But I do think that there's an expectation for him to just go out there and log laps. If he's 18th, it's fine. If he's 15th and he scores a point, even better. If he somehow can score a top 10, it would be an incredible result. Jorge Martin, as we know, he is an absolutely god-tier rider when it comes to one-lap performances in qualifying. I wouldn't be surprised if he gritted his teeth and he pulled out an absolutely amazing lap. But I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll play the long game. He'll settle for whatever he gets. And yeah, he'll be up to speed in no time, I think. But it's good to have the world champion back. I think that there's a massive chance for him to take control of that Aprilia project and send it in a direction where he wants now that he's fully back. And yeah, let's see how he goes. Let me know how you think Jorge will go in the practice sessions. Do you think he'll make it through the weekend? I do think he will. Adrenaline is an incredible thing that our bodies can do, and when it goes to the max, like when you're a motorsport athlete, it must be incredible to have that feeling. But there's the opposite side; it must destroy you after when it wears off. So yeah, I think Jorge will be fine. I think he'll get through the weekends. He'll understand that bike more, and yeah, we'll move on to Jerez, where he'll continue to build his season. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think of Jorge. And until next time, we'll see you then. Take care.